In today's episode, Alex asks, can you automate culture? Corporate culture and automation are two of the most prolific terms in the business lexicon, but what is their relationship? Huh. Um, can you automate culture? No. So here's why. In 1964, H.J. Leavitt came up with a framework, the diamond of productivity or something along those lines. I can't remember the exact term, but that has since been distilled down by many, including many expensive consulting firms, into people, process, and technology, or people, process, and platform, the three Ps. When you look at the intersection of those, automation and culture live in different sections of that diagram. So, in fact, let's bring up this lovely diagram here. People is who's doing stuff, right? The people part is where culture lives. When we talk about automation, we're talking about the integration of process and platform, how you do stuff and what you do stuff with. You can see there's really very little overlap between platform and process and people. There's that little section in the middle, which is, I guess, winning or general strategy. But for the most part, the intersection of process and platform doesn't hardly touch people. What is culture? If you look at the dictionary definition, which I like, let's bring that up here. The customs, habits, traditions, social institutions, and achievements of a social group. There's almost nothing there you'd want to automate. Not realistically. I can't think of anything at that macro level that you would want to have machines doing. Can you imagine having machines automate weekly staff meeting if that's a cultural institution at your company, or beer cart Friday, having a robot driving around the beer cart? That would be efficient, but it would not be very human. And when we're talking about culture, we're talking about human stuff. Businesses in general already tend to be really bad at creating culture. It's one of those things that happens. It's kind of a nice overlap with the idea of culture as like a bacterial culture, something that just grows based on the environment that it's in. Your culture as a business is typically baked into your DNA as a company. It's guided by your founders. It is guided by your values, the values that those founders set and that the founders live, and it is guided by who you hire, and how you hold the people that you hire accountable for those values. That's the short definition of culture, and there's not much you can automate at that macro level. You can absolutely automate individual processes, but not the culture as a whole. And even there, you've got to be careful. Automation, by definition, is making what you already have work better or faster, right? So it tends to get you more of what you already have, which means that if you have a bad culture, you're going to automate pieces of it, like parts of the hiring process, that will get you what you already have, but more of it faster. A really good example of where this went awry last year was Amazon got itself into a whole bunch of hot water because they trained a machine learning system, an artificial intelligence system, to ostensibly speed up the hiring process. And they fed it a whole bunch of training data and said, I want you to take the pile of 500 resumes and give me the 5 people that I should call. And to no one's surprise, except theirs apparently, it didn't select any women. Why? Well, because all of the training data they fed to it was heavily biased against women. So, of course, the automation is going to get them more of what they already have. No one said, from a diversity perspective, hey, we need to make sure this is gender balanced or ethnicity balanced or sexual orientation balanced or any of those things. It was not part of the computation. It was just a sort of almost blind automation, which is really, really bad. So automation will get you more of what you already have. If you're not happy with what you already have, then automation is not going to be the answer for creating or pivoting the culture. Culture is a lot like a battleship, right? It takes a long time to change. It takes a long time to turn, to go into new directions. Even at small organizations, it takes time. At our company, Trust Insights, we added one headcount in 2018, and that changed the culture and the dynamics among the three of us, but not substantially. Right? It took a while for us to be a slightly different company, and now, and part of that's because when you have things like values, you want to make sure that everyone adheres to those values. And so unless you're radically changing your values, you're not going to radically change your culture, particularly if those values are very people-based things, like here's what we believe or here's what we will not do. So can you automate culture? No, I don't think so. You can automate individual processes, but fundamentally, culture is a human-centric function in the company, and you can create opportunities for people to express that culture in new ways, but it is human first and foremost. It's not something that the machines are going to do, and it's not something you want the machines doing, at least not right now. Maybe as our technologies at natural language generation and our ability to get better at natural language recognition improve, we will see more opportunities for machines to work with us, but not soon. Great question. Super interesting question, because, yeah, it is a heavily overused term, but they dine at separate tables for now. All bets are off for the future. As always, please subscribe to the YouTube channel and the newsletter. I'll talk to you soon. Want help solving your company's data, analytics, and digital marketing problems? Visit trustinsights.ai today and let us know how we can help you.